where Vitality could actually pull the action out of the hat earlier.
Yeah, I think that's the big standout for me. It's sure KC had some flubs, but it was Vitality doing a very good job of forcing themselves into good positions, and a lot of that came from Lyncas on this early proactive jungler, getting that good invade literally from the get-go and making sure that they could win out through that. So for Vitality, again, let's see if they can have a repeat performance. Try and find some early aggression for Lyncas, see if they can play well through him, and enable Czajek to start helping him out through that mid-jungle.
I guess KC think, okay, our option in Game 3 is get rid of as many junglers against Lyncas as possible. Now that the skirmishes are out, the Jarvan's gone, the Xin Zhao's gone, Vi Poppy. But on top of that, you got Maokai, which every jungler loves this tree. And with Pantheon as well, I'm thinking, I'm going down the list. Nautilus is a jungler at the moment in this patch. So that's a triple jungle ban technically against Lyncas.
Is it going to be the Trundle taken away as well? Because that's the last kind of early game jungler that's in my head that you could look to potentially go for here and try and set yourselves up for some success. And Yike has looked good on it, and also counters a lot of the junglers that are then left, like the Sejuani and the fallback path we see that tend to be more of those tanky picks. Yeah,
because if you go, if it's like a Trundle angle here, or a Wukong maybe, by the way, is just another side note since we haven't had Orianna yet.
Yeah, I think if your goal is to limit the impact that a jungler can have in the early game for Vitality, I think giving that Wukong across is fine. Because, I was going to say the pre-level 6 just isn't that strong. And I think Lyncas, if you can get onto something like the Trundle that can have that standout performance in the early game, still looks pretty good when it comes towards playing towards sides and looking at terror dives. That can work for Vitality and has worked both in the last game and their previous series.
You're going up against an AD jungler, but still it's the dueling power that you love from Trundle these days. As Orianna gets locked in, and Orianna can pair with almost anything, right? We've had Nocturnes already. We've had the Trundles as a pairing with this as well. We've had the Wukong together, which obviously is not an option this game. So it doesn't feel like Vitality have pinched that much despite KC really knocking off 3 junglers that are S to A tier at the moment in the patch.
Yeah, and getting something for Czajek that he can be comfortable on, I think, is a nice win for Vitality. The ban on Victor means that there's very little that can try and contest her in the lane state. So you're always going to have some control over mid, which enables Lyncas then to get his control as well. So KC, maybe you look at something like Silas for the Vladi if you want to. But it's not exactly the best when you're going in towards a Trundle who can steal away a bunch of your stats and make you very squishy very quick.
Because otherwise, my head goes to something like Aurora, but Aurora in the lane doesn't feel as nice, especially with the range advantage. Sivir gets locked in here, and I guess AD carry is just now being moved into question. Galio. Now, that could be a flex, but most likely going towards mid since Rumble has already been picked in this series.
Yeah, I think it is just going to be going towards the mid lane. So essentially saying, I'm going to lose graciously in this mid lane, play as a disengage tool, but also follow-up engage on the Wukong, and we can play for these big team fights. Again, though, you're taking something that innately wants to be tanky, going to this Hollow Radiance build, against a Trundle that is going to steal away a bunch of those stats. So I don't think the Galio is going to have the best of times in this scenario when it comes towards the team fights, but at least it should be able to buy some space for what is a relatively short-range KC.
Maybe there is a chance to pull out the Xayah ult as well with some of the all-in, but regardless, Xayah has just been picked up by Carzzy, so no Rakan available for the pairing, but I do feel like a safe AD carry with a bit of dive threat being built up by KC so far.
I'm also surprised Gwen has made it through so far this series. She's a very, very strong pick, and something that I think Canna might try and eye up, honestly. In this top side, you got the speed up from the Sivir to enable him. You got the Galio that can buy space. Makes it difficult enough for Xayah, who is relatively short range when it comes towards AD carries, to try and get value when she goes in towards the Hollow Mist. So maybe that's something that Canna's eyeing up on this next rotation, and I don't think there's very much that can really go against her in that top side, and I imagine Vitality want to look at tanks as well.
Do you think the Brom ban, though, in the meantime, is KC saying, like, we want to pick an enchanter for Sivir and we don't want like a stronger 2v2? Are they trying to angle out just the lane phase? Is it the disengage from all this dive? Okay, the Gwen person lost it.
If with the Braum ban, it signals to me more they want to go for engage on the bottom side. I think if you're Braum playing into like Karma or Lulu, you're having a bit of a miserable time. It's more so, I believe, looking towards well, actually, I was going to say, I don't actually know now that I look at the engaged champions that are still up and available. Most of them have taken off the ward, so...
Yeah, normally it'd be like, okay, like what's going to run into me? But right now, yeah, that is a question. Like, what is going to run into KC? Where's the engage going to come from? Who's going to give a bold delivery?
Yeah. Maybe KC are worried about a strong level 1 from Vitality, where you've got the invade that can come through with the Braum, the Trundle, and the follow-up. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Targamas is going to go towards. Now, you already heard the desk talk about it at the start of the day, how Targamas has been going more towards these Enchanter supports over the last little while. Like, we saw the Lulu, we've seen the Milio as well in their last series. So it's definitely something that he has brought back into his wheelhouse. But yeah, wait and see.
Now, if KC go Enchanter here, remember something like a Blitzcrank is still up and available. I'm just going to drop that in there. Gnar gets picked for the first time this split against a Cassante to bring a range matchup into it. I do feel like Cassante in the past has been okay with the matchup, considering that he just never takes damage from anyone. That's his kind of thing. An Enchanter you asked for, Karma Sivir, would add a bit of range to the lane, Dagda. But surely, Fleshy has a response for this. Blitzcrank.
Yeah, I feel like you want some sort of engage, but it's mostly gone. Blitz may be the option.
Okay. He does it too, but that guy, he uses the puddle to even go in, which means an Orianna ball, it's a delivery service. And I just thought about this before we talk about the draft, Dagda. Can you imagine a League of Legends delivery service where food is delivered in an Orianna ball? That's good. I had to say that on broadcast in case anyone comes up with the idea, and then I get them for copyright, and then it's my idea, and I make bank off it. That would be a great idea, just like I think Vitality said with their Pyke. What are the stats for Fleshy on this one?
I mean, 12 games played with an 83.3% win rate. Not bad for the Vitality support. Definitely, like, it's his 5th most played champion all time. So definitely something that I'll be keeping my eyes on, because this is comfort for Vitality. And for Fleshy, new to the LEC stage, for him to be able to flex his muscles on this pick is going to be something to behold.
Really is. In a game 3, Vitality, they've not only done the unthinkable, taking a game off KC, but they're now on the finish line. If they win this series, they're already locked into the top 4. This group is not secure yet. KC, the only ones locked into top 2. Vitality could end this week with a 2-1 and then go up against Movistar Koi next week in what could be the battle for a top 2. And then Jackspektra would be right. It's crazy. No one thought ever before that that guy could be correct. But here today, maybe he believed when we all did not. Maybe he was right as we get into our 3rd and final game of Vitality versus KC.
And I did just get confirmation from Arna and from Molecule in the production side. The Fleshy did used to be an OTP for Pyke. So
big.
This is sick. I think it's really, really cool when you get to see these players that are new to the LEC stage showing what they're worth on champions that they've already made them a name for themselves on.
Pyke's going Halo Blade, so quick trades in lane with lethal tempo, not Conqueror on the Xayah. So I feel like I like that anyway with some of these hardcore trades. Bone Skewer, the pullback. Let's not forget that little slow, that 90% for a second after you get pulled back. It's really deep. As,
okay. What a tweet.
Nice. I can't tell the difference.
It is subtle. It is subtle.
It is very subtle. There's a lot of personality on this team, and that's what's really nice, you know, like, as we're seeing, you know, the comms have been...
It's hard not to be fans of them.
Yeah, that's right, you know? And hey, I mean, look, KC are meant to be the best. They took it to the best, and right now in a game 3, KC have a lot to prove that they are still at the top of this group by finishing off this series. This would be their first series loss. As Canna, he decided to opt in for the Gnar. We have not seen Gnar this split. Kind of fell out of priority, Dagda, but a bit of team fighting pressure. However, he's hoping for the lane here and the range advantage that he can force out and win against Nako.
Yeah, and essentially that's all he really wants. And I think that's kind of been the playstyle of Canna, right? These lane bullies that he can get big advantages on and then bring that into team fights and have outstanding performances. Nako was able to get the better of him in the last game.
Yep. Still,
the Jace did well, but it was Nako won out with that maiden performance in the end.
Oh, yeah. That lovely wife did so much here for Vitality. And I have to say, it has been jungle story as Bone Skewer not going to connect onto Caliste. Good sidestep it has been about Yike and Lyncas. They are farming towards the bottom side now, so all roads lead south. As just a quick reminder of how much work they did in their own respective rights. There were individual step-ups, game 1, game 2, respectively.
Lyncas going to start to creep on in here. Knows there's a ward in his own tri-brush, so not sure if he's just trying to sneak around and to make a play on the bottom side. So yeah, he is. Will be spot out. Great play here from Yike, though. Ends up moving around to spot out this.
Second fiddle might work out. The pillar's up onto Targamas. He flashes away, though, and the Ghost Water Tide matches. Targamas dead. For Yike can join in. He flashes. He bongs, but Fleshy, even on vision, is not going to be able to heal up. And exactly because of that, Cliff picks up the kill in response. A 1-for-1 bot to open up.
Nice play coming through from Vitality, but it's spotted by KC, who are able to turn that back. A kill apiece for the AD carries means that it's going to be all even Steven, but I was also keeping my eyes on the mid lane as Czajek with a great trade on towards Vladi. Will end up getting the push and get a quick reset for himself.
Matchup feels easy, but I feel like Czajek's probably exemplified from the second game. That Rise game, he was feeling it. Maybe he's just turned on in the series as well. Caliste getting the push here, which is nice, and Fleshy can't cover for this, so Carzzy will miss a couple of minions. And with that kill, that means that Caliste will get probably the biggest advantage out of that 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, we're going to get to play on the bottom side. So Lyncas gets a great pillar to keep Targamas away. Has to flash early then, and it means that then Fleshy can follow with the undertow. And unfortunately for Fleshy, then tries to use the sweeper to stop the vision, but KC, we're always going to be able to follow him to get the kill.
And so in the end, as I said, the wave denied. That's 6 minions in total is the lead. 200 gold now as Carzzy comes back to lane. You expect Fleshy to start looking at how he can roam soon. He's got tier 1 boots, and as he goes water dives, you'll see about how he can impact mid, I'm sure. Sneaks into brush. Targamas going to step up. Minion dies. But there's no bone skewer to be seen. We ignore that one.
This should give Carzzy the push that he wants. Well, in theory, actually, I say it as Targamas actually able to ult Q the wave. But if you can get this shove.
Oh, there it is. Bone skewer. Caliste. Our root is all over the place now. Yeah, no feather going to collect.
Yeah, Caliste did a good job of maneuvering around, so he didn't end up having to burn the spell shield on the potential pullback from Carzzy. There you go. No, or on the hook from Fleshy. So, or sorry, the undertow from Fleshy. So it meant that he always had some way of being able to get away from the CC. But if you can get this push for Vitality, which is what they really want, you can then rotate Carzzy towards that top side, and that's when you can unlock Fleshy, start moving around the map a little bit more.
Oh, nice trade meanwhile though from Vladi. Unlocking Fleshy, you're right though, is going to be a huge priority here in this game. And I just feel like Carzzy he's picked this Xayah in this game to just survive and just get through this early game as much as possible. Meanwhile, junglers, we talked a lot about them here in the early game. They're not being seen yet outside of that bot dive. And it's also because we're just focusing heavily on this top lane now that Canna is winning by a milestone. Nako will be able to teleport back, but Canna is abusing the range advantage right now.
Yike moving down towards his bottom side as well. Just going to look to pick up his camps, but also should be able to cover in case Fleshy tries to go that little bit too far towards interrupting these resets. But again, I think, yeah, if you can start to get Carzzy and Fleshy out of this matchup, that's really where the focus is going to be for getting Fleshy access to roam around, but also just trying to deny Caliste and Targamas from fully abusing how strong this 2v2 is.
That's what they played it for, the range advantage that you get with Karma. You know, it's kind of like the old Nako. Like, not in any way it plays similar. Like, it's just the fact that you have great poke for lane, and the bonus is you are an enchanter that scales massively with AoE shields as well. I remember back in the day when Karma shields lasted for like 2 seconds, 2.5, then they nerfed it. Rightly so, because
there's a lot of stuff that used to be in the game where you go, how did this fly?
How did that go through, you know? Like old Mordekaiser on dragons. How did someone do that? Plus, she doesn't get the bone skewer. He's rooted down that Inspire. Nice from Targamas. Re-engage from Yike, but there's no Cyclone, so KC is simply just looking for damage right now. We go back to top because there's an ulti that's mitigated nicely by Nako, but Khan's going to go to Gnar. He's going to get his hype up. He's going to walk up to the turret yet again. Nothing happens in bot in the end, just to push in, while dragon spawning is an obvious focus. While lane is not swapping here in this game, and they're going to stay it out for the 2v2.
Yeah, a lot of focus from KC on trying to protect the bottom side, because Caliste and Targamas will slowly but surely whittle down Fleshy and Carzzy and start to win out, as long as Fleshy isn't able to get out onto the map or even start to get kills on the bottom side. So Yike doing a good job of matching Lyncas whenever he shows up on this bottom side.
Fleshy going for a journey. Dragon was pulled, but the patience is going to wear thin. Carzzy receives a wave, and good time to back away for him as well, as bot is going to neutralize. So this early game is chilling for a little bit. It does feel like we talked about waiting for level 6 regardless, especially for KC's angle. As soon as Yike gets that, and especially with Grub spawning now in 20 seconds, our first fight could just be around the corner.
And we're getting the rotation from Carzzy towards this top side to try and start that. Caliste has already moved back down towards the bottom side. So essentially this is Vitality trying to go for that play we were talking about, opening up Fleshy, start moving around the map and linking up with Lyncas. It does mean Nako has to clear this wave and then quickly reset so he doesn't lose out on the wave on bot.
Fleshy went swiftness, by the way. If you're wondering what kind of boots in pro play, I guess we're just never going swiftness, as you know what I mean, all out used. Canna in trouble, hit by every Natofo strike by Nako. Tries to protect Canna walking out, and Grass does help the slowdown with Carzzy running after him, but the flip is just out of range. A close call, and Canna walks that out. Unnecessary, because Canna, going to interrupt. And look at the bottom side in the picture-in-picture. Oh dear. You're just losing an entire wave, you're losing a ton of turret plates, and yes, you will get the Void Grubs, but you'd already rotated for that, so... KC, can they even steal one away here? I was going to say, are you going to get all 3 Void Grubs? Bone Skewer needs to connect here. Onto Yike, it's nice, but he's got a Karma by his side. He steals one, Yike, yoinks! It's a 1-for-1, and again, Vitality needed really all 3 to justify it, but even then, bot is a massacre. 2 Grubs taken, and KC able to defend their top turret on top of that. Caliste got so much on that bottom side of the map, and KC, Gnar is going to be fine to clear out these waves, and you've got Targamas here to support him. Bit of a whoopsie from Vitality, and it was just over-aggressing to try and get the kill on Canna when they just needed Nako to reset and match on that bottom side. Vladi is getting bullied out. Czajek is doing his best. Shockwave interrupts, but Justice Punch buffers. That's the way Justice does it. You can't stop Justice. No. Nako did make his way down to bottom meanwhile, though, so... Him getting a bit of damage down is nice, considering that Vitality lost so much with the plating, but still there is a 300 gold lead, and it does feel like that one play did cause a bit of a ruckus with set gold. Fleshy moving down towards his bottom side to match with Nako, but I think he's in an even worse position if he tries to match. Then he did match with Carzzy with the Cassante, because there's just nothing you can do in this sort of situation. It feels like, unfortunately for Vitality, this early game has been controlled by KC, and you still haven't really broken that game open. Fleshy has hit 6, which will help on him working with Lyncas, but they really need to find these picks now. That Wombo is unreal. Shockwave, death from below. It's not as unreal as I thought it was. Nako's in trouble. He's getting autoed to death by Caliste, and Yike is on the way in. I'm looking... see if Pyke can help out this situation, but he's far away for now. Lyncas was starting off the Dragon. Yike sees it, and Lyncas, he's still hitting this, but I would be scared. Vladi has ulti, and he's right there. Canna's just walked down for this as well. They're kind of going to help control this mid wave, which is a good call. And you've already got pushed from Caliste on the bottom side. A little low on mana, though, and doesn't have On the Hunt. Was popped already. So for KC, little dicey. It is a bit, especially since Czajek just got his Shockwave back up and available now. KC burning the Midnight Oil with their health bar. Carzzy doesn't get a root in, but Dragon now at 2k, and we see that Nako has to back away, so his TP will be late even if it comes in. There's the first Dragon of the game. Teleport late, it's on the left-hand side of your screen. Nako joins in, and the Ghostwater Tide is nice, but the setup from Vladi's even nicer. Yike with the Cyclone, and Carzzy flashes forward. The feathers go out, but what is he going to do? Shockwave brings him in, but I think Canna was better. Lyncas isolated by himself, taking the fight, flashes out and says, no, that was not right. Now Vladi for another Justice Punch. He doesn't take it in the end, but KC classed the fight. Vitality tried desperately to get that fight to start off, and it was some fancy footwork from Fleshy to make it happen. But KC knew what to do. They completely turned that fight around. And it's just unfortunate for Vitality. There was nothing that they could manage. It was like a Gnar ult versus the Shockwave, and Canna was just that much quicker. Now, Nako has a bit of help here from Fleshy. Canna, the dive. Or should I say the jump. Fleshy can't get him, and we look at a replay of what just happened. So essentially what
Fleshy's trying to do as we go on to this is you can ult to, after you use the undertow, to then follow through and then flash, and does get a good stun on towards Yike. But Yike actually immediately goes in and then buys a ton of space, and as Carzzy flashes forward, he gets knocked up. And this ult from Canna is perfect. The Orianna doesn't even have a first item here, so she just doesn't really do much. It's more of a CC coming through from the shockwave.
Yeah.
So KC just have the follow-up to follow through.
And Vladi came flying in as well. It's a well-played fight. It's a 1,300 gold lead. And remember, they got first dragon. And yeah, Caliste has picked up an item because he's also in 3 kills deep. Got 2 in the last fight. And with all the gold on the Sivir early, I do fear that mid may be unapproachable with him now perma-camping.
Yeah, the problem is that the entire gold lead is between Canna and Caliste. So side lane, not going to be fun for Nako. Caliste obliterates waves and immediately starts to roam, which is then also limiting the impact that Lyncas and Fleshy can have in approaching these side waves. And this has kind of been where Vitality have found their success, is through side lane pressure and overloading the side lane. But they're not really being given that opportunity, because KC now have a really good opportunity to defend those sides.
So you have to think about how this next fight will go for Vitality. How do they find a way? Because they are so reliant on some of these big ultals. They're so reliant on this front to back. And we've already seen, I feel like KC, you know, have a similar kind of position, right? They've got a lot of ult triggers. They've got a lot of ult abilities, I should just say. You know, speak plainly. It's a lot of good R buttons that also just layer well. I mean, Wukong, Galio, layering's nice with Gnar too. It all kind of comes together.
Lyncas approaching Yike and River.
Well, let's look at top laners again. I'm excited for that. Unstoppable, nice Nako. He can all out here. Mega Gnar in the meantime. Nako holds onto his ult. And yeah, bot is getting frisky in the river. Now, Fleshy, he's still level 6. He has not absorbed away for about a country year. And you'd say that's good for Carzzy, but Carzzy's also a level behind completely of Caliste.
Yeah, and that was because Caliste was able to stick around on that bottom side for the Void Group fight. That's where we saw that lead open up experience. But again, it's Vitality trying to attack points on the map that they don't really have any business to, because control for Caliste in mid.
25 seconds. Business in top, I wonder if they're going to move up there immediately, because Herald is coming up. Quick reset from bot lane. Vladi will receive this wave. He does have TP.
And there's no pressure on KC to step outside and try and fight toe-to-toe against Vitality, which is why they're kind of ceding that control as Vitality go in for the potential skirmish, because if they scale, they have the Sivir who's going to do fantastic. Vladi's going to get tankier. Your Yike is going to get towards the second item. Like, you are fine to just continue taking these team fights. And Vitality just don't really have a window apart from looking for these quick picks and quick plays. So KC, you're just happy to sit waiting for the objective fight.
And I mean, look at top, like Nako can't join in. He's getting chunked out by Canna every which way by this 20 CS lead Gnar, who's happy to chill in the 1v1. Lyncas coming in looking for a steal, but the eye is going to expose. Move down to 1k, and the attempt on Canna. Czajek is going to shockwave Canna. He's not going to go flash, and he's dead. So good opportunity. Eye does go to KC in the meantime, but Yike has a way out of here. All he has to do is clone through his Lyncas, walks it out. A kill for the Herald. That's going to be the trade.
KC still moving up towards his top side. That's a very isolated Orianna.
She's going to back, but now she's going to TP. Yeah, I understand. Vladi, he's going for the wave first. He's not going to shield it around the empty brush and take a chance. And Czajek will get out of there, but now teleport is burned. And Dragon's up in 10 seconds, so Czajek's going to have to get this push in and stick around for what it's worth.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world on positioning. Just not being able to get the reset before is a little unfortunate. Still though, KC now coming back out onto the map. If Vitality can continue to look for some picks, maybe it can work out. But again, it's very slow. And you've got Rift Herald that can throw up in that midway.
Ball out. Hang on. Vladi, he's going to take damage here. Flash and Nova strikes are hitting. Goes back in. The flash match. And Nako looking at a solo kill. The sidestep huge. Vladi still slow. Another Natovo. Another one. And yeah, that's Gesante for you. And solo kill with Nako brings you some hope for Vitality.
I thought the phase rush on Galio might have been enough for him to escape. But Nako just about able to catch him in the end, and now Vitality move over towards the objective. Nako needs to reset. Dragon going down fast, and KC going to give.
And having that TP advantage, I mean, and not having Vladi for another 15 seconds, Dragon is a good take. Vitality 1 on the board, and Nako, meanwhile, with the 2 grubs, is doing some good damage to the turret ever so slowly.
So this is, again, Vitality kind of getting some of these picks, and this is not the best position for them with the
Yike just jumped in. The feathers fly. Doesn't get a root down. The Herald comes in. 2-man shockwave. Yike, that's the real deal. Another dissonance, and he's dead. Dead from below, flushed away from. Fleshy will not get a reset on the ulti as Vitality managed to defend. The Herald not getting a charge either.
Lyncas is able to stop that Herald getting the charge thanks to the Trundle pillar. Big wins for Vitality in the last couple of passage of plays. So they end up getting the kill for the Rift Herald. The Rift Herald gets no value. They end up getting the pick now over and get the Dragon. And they've got the kill on the top. So overall, Vitality starting to get some control back into this game. If they can keep going for these picks and punishing KC for the overextensions, this could be the way that they turn this game around.
As you said, Lyncas' pillar, it just does so much, but I think, again, Czajek, last game in this game, he's having such a time. Now, because of the matchup, he's 20 CS ahead, but this Orianna with double feed his Codex is going to be 2 items up soon. We'll have infinite mana hacks, sure enough, as well. And these shockwaves might indeed find them all with KC. This feels like the game for it, you know? So optimism there. It is nice as a caster when you start off a series seeing such a stomp, and you go, man, KC is so good, and oh yeah, Vitality, this is kind of sad. And then game 2, you get thrown off a bit. And then game 3, anything's possible. It's like you go to Disneyland or something, you know? And part of the theme park is closed and you get disappointed, but the rest of it, oh boy, it makes up for it, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, I've actually never been to Disneyland.
They don't really close things off. That's not a thing. They're very consistent. It's like, I don't know any other theme parks. I know Wonderland we had in Australia, but that got shut down. That's like 2007.
I know our talent manager loves Disneyland, so she's always disappointed when I tell her I've never gone to
it. Yeah. I've been Shanghai. I've been Japan, Disney Sea in Japan as well, and I've been Paris. It's good. I feel like I'm not trying to advocate, all right? I'm telling you guys what I did in my time off as Canna.
So we're getting KC attacking bot as Vitality starting to move into position to look for a top play.
Yeah.
But Nako respecting the play on the bottom side. Adakano shortly on the bot end. This could work out well for KC if they could get the kill.
If. There's a big if, isn't there? It is a Cassante. He's got resistances. They're bringing in 4, the big guns. But Nako, okay. Wukong is helping. Here's Canna. Now maybe enough. Unstoppable for now, and yes, Cassante will die. Nako down, and KC do commit, but first turret of the game goes to Vitality.
So Vitality using the Trundle tower-killing pressure to at least get the first one on the top side. But Adakan is still about to spawn. You can see immediately Yike is going to turn on to that. So there we go. This is the reason you don't want to leave Trundle alone in the side lane for too long.
True.
But it's matched. 2 for 2 on towers, but Adakan is going to just die to Yike. So overall, KC going to win out on this one.
100%. As you keep telling me, as I keep repeating to everyone, that 3,000 gold or thereabouts for Adakan. That's significant. And moving down, Fleshy just going to spot this out that this is happening, but at 4K, it's way too late. Adakan goes down. Vitality going to try and make a move for mid lane turret, but Vladi can defend this. He can get a shielded around under turret, get turret aggro onto Carzzy. Even though Lyncas ults in the end, Vladi's buying time. Yes, he will go down, but as Carzzy steps up, KC are on the way. Fleshy, good defense, and the bone skill probably scared KC away. So Vitality will survive after doing some damage and killing the mid lane.
Vladi going a little bit too far on the Galio again there, getting caught out. Could have been a big moment for KC because of the back-to-back wins they'd kind of picked up. But at least Vitality able to get one back on the board. Carzzy as well, getting a second kill means he should be able to finish his second item on this reset as well, which is going to be very nice.
True.
Even foregoing the Flicker Blade. What's this? My brain's gone.
Flicker Blade. Flicker Blade. Just think of Beyblade. No,
he's gone straight for the IE, which means he's going to just hurt when he gets these feather.
You know those big things in like Naruto, those big triangle blades? No, you know. Okay. They're the things that you throw them like the spinny. It's not a shuriken, like it's a big one.
Okay.
It unfolds. That's what that is.
Is this a Flicker Blade or is this what Sivir has?
No, that's what in Naruto, that's the thing. Oh, hang on. Where's the circle? I have power. That thing. Except it's not blue. It's like gray. And then that's what Legolas has. No. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my marbles. It is Monday.
We lost them a long time.
No. But I regather them. I've got a bag of marbles.
Oh, we're fighting them for this dragon.
We should. Let's unleash. Fleshy Bone Skewer not going to connect. Vladi came in and Lyncas already flashed away, but it's doomed. Vitality lose their jungle to start the fight. Nako has the flash as well. The fight's so scattered, and Vladi just showed up and said, bet. Fleshy with a good Bone Skewer. Flash away from Targamas, but they need more. Shockwave is available still, and you're right, Canna and Gnar flash. No, not needed, and Gnar now runs out.
Vitality trying to push in on the mid wave. KC looking to defend as they take it, but Carzzy a little bit far forward.
He's auto down with the flicker blade. You talked about the Bone Skewer in, but Caliste's walking up. He doesn't care. Boomerang out as well. The feathers will fly, but Carzzy can't rejoin. Vladi runs in. The angle's not right for the pullback, and eventually, even though it works, KC, a big win. The Chemtech Drake, and the fight seems to be going their way, is under the turret. Czajek, his back will be stopped.
KC are struggling to lock people down after Yike and Canna have kind of run out of their ultimates. And wait a second.
Nako at half HP, they're going to fight again. Okay, Vitality, if it doesn't work, do it again. There's the all-out onto Targamas, dead in an instant. Targamas is now gone, so there's no enchanter, but Caliste doesn't care. He still steps up, but hang on, maybe he should. Lyncas running in. There's an ulti from Vladi defensively. The Galio's now down. He's got no mana. Yike flashed on. A Bone Skewer. Fleshy brings it in. Death from below. Gets the reset. And are we going again? No. Yike is just dropping. Carzzy just ordering. Canna is going into Gnar. Dagda. Vitality are just going in, and KC are like, okay, we'll do the same thing.
Vitality come out of the woodwork and end up picking up a bunch of kills off the back of it. Nako goes for Targamas, knowing that he has no flash, he can pull him back and get the kills. Lyncas is then able to get the speed up to chase down Caliste as well. Vladi, like a good taunt, but underneath the tower means he has to peel.
What happened?
And again, Lyncas, the movement speed perfect in getting in and out. And then they just chase people down here. Fleshy with the flash forward, catches onto Vladi. Carzzy's getting good damage down, and Fleshy's starting to get the resets. Canna in a great position then on the top side here to actually get some damage on towards Carzzy. But it's Vitality just being able to pick off members because they thought they could stick around and get that mid lane turret.
So, who won that?
The fans.
Good one.
I think, so Vitality got 3 kills, but KC did manage to get the mid turret and get 1 kill back. So I think for Vitality, much needed gold to try and help them out. But for KC, having mid lane Terra down now makes it easier for them to push mid with Caliste and move up towards that top side. So I think in the long run, it gives more map play to KC, which is great. But Vitality kind of just needed the gold. So at least if they can find these fights, saying when Baron spawns the next couple of minutes, it could help them out there.
The gold in question as well went to this man over here. So even though he gets some assists, I mean, he's slowly just clawing ahead. Nako's getting chased down, and this is big with Black Cleaver as well going into Gnar. Nako, he's going to have to unstoppable if there's a Gnar, but there is not. Total gold right now, Canna is obviously ahead. He's 1.4k up. I already mentioned the Black Cleaver before. It's quite large. 3 items now, though, with an LDR for Caliste. This Sivir scaled early. This Sivir's still scaling. And obviously, saw in the fight, his ability to walk up was huge. He's now a full item ahead of his counterpart.
Yeah, and now they're in a position as KC where, oh, hang on.
Come on, minimap.
There it is. You basically guarantee your push for Caliste here. You can then shift that pressure up in towards the top side and help the Galio is already pushing in towards this top wave. And you then just get to litter all of this position here with a bunch of wards that is nigh on impossible for Vitality to clear because Vladi can ult on towards Yike. You've got a boomerang, you've got a bunch of ricocheting blades. Like corridors like that are petrifying for Vitality to try and contest.
Now getting darker as well. Vitality have to walk into this eventually because KC have gotten rid of all but 1 ward. That ward there, right in front of Caliste backing, that's really nice. They're going to see the AD carry moving away. Vitality starting the fight. Caliste is gone. Caliste is gone. Yike exposed and Lyncas hitting away. Shockwave brings in 2 with a fake clone, but Yike, there's a pillar in the way. He has to go back in, but Double Cyclone now down. That ward may have won Vitality the game, or at least put them into a position of power. Vladi ulted in to die. Targamas pulled back in, and again, that Pyke finds a pick of legends. Canna's in the side lane trying to get some gold back, but Vitality just killed 3.
The fact that that ward spotted Caliste backing was a catalyst for everything. Baron will go to Vitality, but Canna, can he be stopped? Nako doesn't have anything, but eventually he will have to run away. The base is cracked, but Baron is taken. It's blow for blow here between KC and Vitality.
Going towards bot immediately, but the backward Baron's going to be swift. 35 seconds on the next dragon, and we'll look again at how this ward changed the game.
It's the second Caliste is gone, Lyncas just unleashes onto Wukong. Czajek, perfect timing on that ultimate. Pulls back both the cloning Yike, and now you get that follow-up as well with Fleshy in a position here to help chase down. And I love this hook. Doesn't even go for the already expected kill onto Vladi. He just turns on towards Targamas and finishes him off as well.
Fleshy has been pretty slick in some of the plays, but as we get a TP in, it's dragon time, and everyone's up from KC, but no heroic entrance. Cyclone just came up about now. Mega Gnar bar is worth looking at as Vitality start the dragon.
Carzzy soloing it and spotted. He's caught in the pit now.
But he's got no Mega Gnar. He's just going to be an Autobot for now. Nako happy to face check. Vitality to beat KC, to beat the 3-0 team. It comes down to this, and Carzzy steps up, already does so much damage, but Caliste auto-attacking with a good shielded around from Vladi. Justice Punch doesn't work, and Fleshy wants to reset with a boomerang blow. Caliste hurts like hell. And that guy at full HP with an enchanter is worth stopping. But if they can, Vitality just lost all their bars, and walking back in is suicide.
They have no TPs on either of the solo laners. Vitality are desperately trying to keep KC at bay and buy some time for some resets to come through. Canna has gone Mega Gnar though, which I think is why Vitality are willing to try and push through here. Vladi has reset, but he has the ultimate to get back in.
Vitality, they're on the scuttle ward, so it's very obvious what the HP is. Yike for an angle here with Smite up and available at 5k. The root for the feathers and the Smite. But Lyncas comes in with the engage, sets up for Vladi into the back. Double Cyclone as well. The fight's all over the place as Czajek has to run for his life. Caliste does die though. Caliste does die. The raid boss is down while the dragon flip comes in, and Nako gets it. Nako, what goes them? Death from below. Bone skewer. We're doing it again. It's a clone, but Vitality have blown KC out with Nako pressing the Q button.
Operation Assassinate Caliste was a goal from Vitality, and they want to keep it going. Lyncas on the push, but KC, they're looking to turn.
Lyncas went a bit deep. He went a bit deep, and now that his pillar's down, the chase is hard. Canna is going to hop, but he doesn't get a double hop. So Lyncas survives, away from the boomerang blade, away from it all. Vitality with Baron, and the slow game with the Dragon number 2 being their own.
Targamas looked like he got past the ball in this one and didn't know how to stop the onslaught. Watch everyone just dive immediately onto the back line as his ult comes through. Carzzy flashing forward. Everyone going for Caliste. Targamas can do nothing to peel for them, while the rest of Vitality buy the space on the back line. And that was where they just didn't then have that damage to follow through. Canna didn't have the Mega Gnar. Somehow Nako manages to steal that one away. And now Vitality in a position where they can actually look for the cleanup. But even look at the mid. You end up with this push coming through from Carzzy as well, where he's able to get some minions into the tower too. A hero fight from Vitality.
And Nako, insane play as well on this Cassante. There's a reason this year this guy's been hyped up. And it hasn't just been me, you know? It hasn't just been on carries either. He's also a level up on Canna somehow, some way. 3 items now, and that brick wall, yes, Caliste does do damage to it, but it's going to hurt him a little bit. It's going to bite back a little bit. Infinity Edge now picked up for Caliste, who got caught out in the last fight, but there's a 3-item Carzzy now. Czajek is picking up gold in side lanes while Canna's doing the same, and we got a Baron in 2 minutes 12. This game's still yet to be decided.
No wave in mid means that you're going to see Vitality try and congregate on this bottom side. Immediately onto Caliste.
And they've got Vladi's ult out for it as well. The Bone Skewer's going to come on in. There's a Justice Punch. Vladi jumping in. He found an isolated target, but it's only on Lyncas. He's popped his subjugate, but it won't be enough. He's sent into the wall, and he is sent packing. Canna for the chase with a boomerang to come on back, and with that slow, Czajek gets flashed on, gets hypered up. Dissonance won't be enough. Canna on the hunt. This Orianna that could is no more. 2 in the bag, and KC punished big.
Canna, the only person on KC with the gold lead and the withdrawal to go for these plays, catching Vitality as they overextend, and now it's going to be his work that is capitalized again. This bot side turret has no inhibitor turret remaining, and KC want to finish off the inhibitor as well.
Fleshy's trying for a bone skewer, but now he's found out outside of that Ghost Water dive. The level 11 Pyke needs a pick of a miracle, but it's hard against KC when they have an Enchanter. And when Canna as well is just not taking that much damage, he's always frontlining with Yike. So bottom inhibitor finally drops down after that onslaught from the top laner of KC before. And Baron's up in 55. That's where it does feel like this game comes to its natural conclusion.
They try and go in onto Caliste, and Lyncas is thinking, I can just get some of these spells and run out, but Targamas, with the root, buys enough time for Vladi to come in, the TP from Canna, and they manage to finish him off. Again, Canna, the speed up that comes through thanks to Targamas here is the reason they're able to chase him down. The flash forward, consistently hitting these boomerangs, so Czajek, even with the speed up from the command dissonance, doesn't get enough running power to get away from him.
It's just an overstep from Vitality. It's a bit too deep and feeling the guns way too much. Gold doesn't matter at this point simply because gold is even. Yes, it does matter for items, but across the board, I mean, 2.6k gold lead, but against a supportive AP tank, you know, Vladi's not going to care too much. His role is to jump in and save. And you know, Canna's is the same as well. You know that Canna with the Negatron Cloak now as well is a bit more durable. Baron's there, Dagda, but Dragon's up in a minute. Timers might coincide, but it would be third Dragon only for KC or Vitality.
I mean, Lyncas having the Subjugate is going to change so many things for KC. Yeah. Both Vladi and Canna are pretty reliable targets to just steal all their stats and burst them out, especially when you look at how impactful Canna can be in these moments. And for Vitality, the Zhonya's for Czajek means that he can actually try and play up into these big shockwave positions, try and put threats onto Caliste and still have that survivability. But would really like to finish his Rabadons before he can really be the big damage dealer and turn the tide of the fight.
Fleshy, bone skewer, gets Vladi, gets him over the wall, but it's a double taunt, flashes over. Nice pick, but Nako steps forward. They get a summoner. They get a big summoner, and Fleshy, that bone skewer, has big impact.
Vladi, I think, panicked a little bit. That may have been the moment KC could have gone forward. Czajek was showing on that bottom side, and KC had the speed up to try and go for it, but didn't want to end up following, and Nako could have got caught out. But now, Baron in their sights, control there. Chemtech Dragon is up, and it's been soloed by Caliste right now.
Do you think the trade's worth it? Vitality will take this down quick. KC know they need to get in. Yike is looking for a steal, but Caliste won't be here for the fight. Dragon will go down, but look again. TP committed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's down. Baron and a shockwave. No Mega now. Nugget pushes them into the wall and kisses them together. Canna's going to go Mega, but where is he in the fight? He's running for his life. Cyclone's now down, and now that Caliste is here, Vitality move ground. Vladi joins in as well, but he's going to get sandwiched. He's going to get hit by a ball. And Orianna, who tries to find them all, but only one for now. Vladi's damage is good. Running for his life. The fight on the back end dangerous as well as Fleshy's caught out and dead to Canna. Vitality in a choke. Let the feathers out. Vladi goes golden. Oh no! KC running amok. Vladi running up. Carzzy's big, but Caliste. Where is Caliste?
He's dead. He's gone.
He's gone. I just saw Caliste disappear in front of my eyes. I thought, where is the Sivir? Vitality get back on the Baron buff as well, and 2 are dead from KC. Somehow alive, Vitality stand.
KC just want to knock as many of these Baron buffs off as possible, but they're not going to be able to do it. Vitality protecting crucial members in this. You get to see the initial fight where Vitality think, okay, we just need to try and escape. After this great shockwave comes through, they're like, no, we're going in. Managing to get the pull on towards Yike, towards Canna, keeps him at bay where he can't get mega value from the Mega Gnar. And Vitality, I was very worried about Czajek up on this top side, but watch the Trundle pillar as it comes through. Denies Caliste and Targamas to follow up perfectly, which means that then Vitality are able to get Czajek into a much better position and continue forward. But then the turnaround here, as the feathers go down from Carzzy, he's able to get a lot of damage down very quickly as Caliste watches he comes through. Gets caught by all those feathers and immediately goes down. Carzzy playing that so well.
He disappeared from my screen, and I thought, we've got to watch Caliste in this fight, but it was 1 second, 1/2 of one. Vitality, they've got the gold lead. And again, I said what I said, which gold doesn't matter too much, but now there's a crucial lead that is leading to potential 4th item Orianna, potential 5th item for Carzzy as well. The AD carry who was behind an item, No more. He's up in gold, and he should have what could be a GA here on the next back.
Canna just trying to be that split push nuisance on the top side. Will be Czajek who's set to answer him. Rabadon's death cap very close to completion for him. If he can pick up a couple more of these waves before we look towards 2.5 minutes of Dragons and Barons, he should be in a position where he's relatively strong. But for KC, they want to see if they can find that quick pick, but it's actually Yike taking below half.
It is big damage, but he's out of there. Clone is nice. Nako can't get the flip back, but he was ready for it. Vitality's damage is scaled. This is what happens, Xayah. 4-5 items. Also, side note, Czajek just picked up a life-saving device. And not the Rabadons, but that is there too. 4 items on this Orianna. 4,500 gold.
It's full build for Caliste, full build for Carzzy now.
Yeah.
Ended up getting that Bloodthirster there for Carzzy to finish it out. This is on a knife's edge. And with a potential Chemtech Soul for KC in just under 2 minutes time, that is going to be all their focus with the flash.
Fleshy gets in, Vladi gets out. Justice punch away, the pillar is out. Nothing else happens. We pause, a minute 45 till Dragon. No summoners burn in the process, apart from Fleshy burning his flash.
Vitality were trying to find a window where Canna was on the bottom side. He'd just gone Mega Gnar, and maybe they could get that quick play, but just the wrong target in the middle of everyone there. And now Vitality still stepping forward. This pillar could be pretty big here.
It's a big pillar. It's on to 3. It's Caliste who's front-lining. Vladi protects him for now. The heroic entrance knife, but look, Cassante on Caliste, trying, Nako trying, gets the GA, while the rest of Vitality are here to stay. Lyncas in the way, and Targamas fighting, can't get in the fight. Canna's got no Mega Gnar. Strong like a bee, I hear it buzzing for me. Canna running and trying to save this game, but I think it's done with a Mega Gnar out and Vladi, who did a weird TP to save his top laner. KC are raw.
Vladi just wants to cut the wave. He's trying to buy enough time so then he can respawn. And I think he's just got it. There is no wave in mid. There is no wave bottom.
Not wrong.
Vitality don't have any way to get through these structures.
That's why we work in pairs. Dagda, good catch on that one as well. So Vladi's TP for a 55-second death time. It does feel like it's worth it then. Nako's going to go back, so the game goes on. And yeah, maybe that TP was just the savior of a lifetime here as Vitality. They're winning fights. They're going big. Lyncas is going to try and tank this one up so they can run on in. No, he's not. He's like, no, forget it. Members are coming up. I'm not risking it. TP going to be burned. Vitality, 5-man strong mid.
The 5v4 will have to come through. They should be able to get this. Maybe they back away, but Vitality, they want to just go for the end. Canna still in 16 seconds time.
But Caliste is up. Caliste for the wave cleave. Caliste survives. It's okay, but Yike, Cyclone defensively. Look at the boomerang. Look at the boomerang. Vitality, be careful. Caliste sends it out. The wave is now gone, but they run forward. Carzzy makes him his little prince. Caliste sent him to the ground, and Vitality stopped the flawless run. Somehow.